What's going on? What's going on? Brutus here, bringing you the Champions War League Finals War Recap video, Season 1, OneHive versus DarkLooters, the outcome of which was 112 to 113. DarkLooters coming away with the first Champions War League CWL victory, also gaining a full 1.5% over OneHive as well. And it was this war did not fail to meet the expectations of the hype, and it was extremely exciting finish. And let's talk about how that was done, piggybacking off of the halftime video. So first, taking a look at what DarkLooters did to OneHive, they doubled the Town Hall 11s and left 2 Town Hall 10s uncleared, 91% and 96%, very close. And this was actually a dip fail, and so was this one. So, and then the rest was cleared. And then for OneHive, we were able to double all the Town Hall 11s, but I'll come back to that point in just a moment. And then unfortunately, we did not, after a scout of a 63% on this one, there was no 10v10 or even dip attempt on that number 6 base. And then there was Queen Kia here, and also ASAP Aussie. So 3 Town Hall 10s uncleared, and that was the name of the game. So let's figure out how we got there. If you take a look at the dip percentage alone to start, we have it looks like 70% dip percentage, but it's not. Vincent actually had an 11 on 11 3 attempt, coming up just short of 92%. And we'll talk about why that had to happen towards the end of the war in just a moment. And you take a look at DarkLooters' side. And this is why I'm a believer that I don't have a problem showing dip attempts on my channel, for especially representing OneHive, because it ain't automatic. Here's 80% dip percentage for DarkLooters. And then if you take a look at the last few attacks here, we have a 97% really close call with erotic going on that, but also there was a few dip fails, but also some successes on both sides. Really exciting finish here. It could have swung either way. And if you take a look at really what the story was, is DarkLooters only needed about 6 attempts, 10v11, to double the 11s, which allowed them to focus on their 10v10 game and have more attempts in order to do that accordingly. And then if you take a look at OneHive side, we were upwards in about 15 attempts, which is really unfortunate. You know, we 15 plus attempts really. So at number 5, when we rather than trying yet again, we went for a 10v10 triple, and we went for a high percent game because we knew it would come down to that, as well as possibly win outright with stars. We were trying to win outright with, I believe, 114, and with 2 dip fails. Unfortunately, it just did not go that way. But that could be said. The same can be said about DarkLooters as well. So great war to both sides. It did not fail to meet the expectations of the hype. And let's take a look at what some of those 10v10s were for OneHive side. And the first to start off, we have Yudi. This one came quite early in the war. We have a wizard, a double wizard here to take away some trash, as well as the high hit point storage. And then a BK down to clear away the trash ring on the bottom, creating a nice little funnel for that queen to sneak in there, with some wall breaker action to get the air defense, Infernal Tower, and Wizard Tower, and some air targeting Archer Towers, but really was aiming for also the bang for the buck, would even get that sweeper, but fell just a little bit short on that. As you see this giant coming down, great timing on that, get the nice distraction going on, queen already down, and then of course the wall breakers in there to get into that wall. It was really a nice entry from Yudi. None of the Town Hall 10s that I'm showing are fresh, they're all second attempts at least. And I'll bring another shout out to Fergie or Savage, being I believe I don't know if it's the only one, but I know he had a 6-pack this war with 2 10v10 triples. Very exciting with both. So with the air defense gone and Infernal Tower gone, he starts his Lalo here with the Rage, working it clockwise. And then here's what I was talking about, but ideally he would get that sweeper out of the way. But he ends up coming from behind on it. With the haste down in the right spot, you got the Lava Pups working on the Hound on the bottom left. And then Rage all on the right spots. He's holding 2 loons. So right as he sees this in this dicey moment with that heal there to sustain those loons going through all this point defense of 2 bows fighting a sweeper that is pushing this back, he decides to drop those last 2 loons and to make sure that he can get this done, because they were being picked off by not only the point defense of that 110 DPS X-bow, but also the Larrys were picking them off as well. So just as they get 2 drops and they're about to drop the other, the splash damage ends up taking out that bow, and then the Larrys finish off the loons, and then the pups come in and take care of those Larrys and then start working on the high hit point CC. Meanwhile, you got the lava pups working around, trying to pick up the cleanup troops as it goes to ×2. There's more cleanup troops than there is enemy lava pups, and so that was enough to pull down this 3, which was very exciting. We'll go to ×4 for cleanup. Great job, Beauty. Let's bounce out of here and continue to move our way down to number 17, where we have Fergie, one of his 2 6-packs. Or one of his 2 3s, being the 6-pack 10v10 of the war. Where does he start this at? Really enjoyed this bowler here. The value that he gets from this bowler not only creates the funnel, but gets part of that defensive structure of that mortar, and then continues to form even more of a funnel as it steps up to this camp. Just really great value from that bowler. Also, on the far left side, he's got 2 bowlers at the 9 o'clock position doing the same thing with that bowler bounce funnel going on. Tremendous value troops, the best troops. But honestly, kidding aside, really great value from that funnel. I mean, just 2 bowlers or 12 troop space enabled to get that double wide funnel going on, which pushes his king into the core with a jump and rage to tank for the bowlers just behind that, and basically take care of the entire 9 o'clock position and section of the base. Yeah, pops that ability. Hopefully was trying to maybe get the Infernal Tower, but doesn't. That would be a little bit ambitious. And here he is, that BK coming in on the last Infernal Tower. Meanwhile, we got a Hound hanging around here, and that's what that Archer is for, in order to drag the unpopped Hound to a corner to ensure that when these pops pop, that they don't get trolled to the Hound, and then they can't clean up the trash around the building remaining after all the defenses are down. But meanwhile, he's got this Infernal Tower left over at the back, so they have to traverse back, which was not according to the plan, but yet so nice. As you can see that here, this is where the action's going to be. It's so exciting on this part, where you have a single stream on all 4 of these loons here. They start to die off a little bit, but they have just enough gusto to get all the way over to this wounded Infernal Tower. The splash damage and the drop help that bring it down, and then he has just 2 loons remaining to work that are also back where the high hit point storage is, which only helps the cleanup. And then, unfortunately, on the bottom, he has those lava pups working on that Hound. But he had enough cleanup troops on the far right with minions that they were able to bring down those high hit point storages on the edges, and then traverse over to that last elixir storage. Just an exciting 3 for sure. So we bounce out of this one and then continue down, and then we'll call this a video. And we have a Toma here doing this early. Unfortunately, it wasn't on live stream. I thought those guys, both DarkLooters and OneHive representatives, did a great job live on the stream representing their clans. But we have a Toma going in on Giovanni, doing a Va Bolalo, or a Valalo, Valkyrie Lalo base. And here's that story again, just a single bowler, 6 troop space, getting a bounce, and taking care of the splash damage of that mortar, as well as creating a funnel and a Valkyrie just to ensure that he gets that really wide dominant funnel, and then continues on with his Valkyries while he uses one of them to create the other side of the funnel. Now they'll take that jump with the Queen taking one of the 2 air defenses that he's targeting, and then the jump, well placed under rage, will ensure that he gets the Queen aggro. The BK will take care of that. Meanwhile, you still have this bowler down here that is taking care of the Town Hall, as well as high hit point items such as the storage after that. So he starts his Lalo here. Already popped the ability for the Queen. haste that on through. Takes out the Infernal Tower, and the Queen stays up and becomes the best cleanup troop behind his entire Lalo portion, which was just such an excellent gangster approach strategy for this as well, I thought. Haste on through, and then heals the back end Infernal Tower. Meanwhile, that Hound that survived is going to come take care of that Queen. And that will remain unpopped, and he keeps one archer to make sure that he can drag it away from any of the cleanup troops that are going to be remaining on this. As he does have an unpopped Hound that's coming in very closely. As these Larrys help pop that Hound and give him more cleanup troops with that help of the Tesla. And then he's got cleanup minions on the back end, again, with the archer dragging the Hound away from everything else. Really nice 3. So in closing, what a great war. I mean, it really could have gone either way, but it did fall within the DarkLooters. They did a great war. Great job on their 11 game. Would really help propel them to get this win. Really exciting finish. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream if you watched it. I know I did. Really looking forward to Season 2. We'll back out of here and leave you guys with the final war results. And once again, it's Brutus reminding you, you're going to be better than a double. And I will check you next time.